Good morning, friends, and welcome to New Garden Friends Meeting. It is our practice here at New Garden Friends Meeting to extend a wide welcome. You are welcome here among friends. No matter your age or race, no matter your sexual orientation or your gender identity, no matter your abilities or what language you first spoke, your immigration status, your marital status, or your politics, you are welcome here among friends. No matter where you may be on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here at New Garden Friends Meeting. We are a community of seekers, and we love to ask questions together about the divine and about how we can live lives of integrity and wholeness. Friends, in this time of digital worship, it is so important that we stay connected to each other, that we continue to have that sense of warm community. And so I would invite you to greet one another warmly, either in the chat section, if you are joining us this morning on Zoom, or in the comments section, if you are joining us this morning on Facebook Live. Or if you are watching the recording of this worship service, now is your chance to make a note to yourself to reach out to another member of our community. Friends, I have a poem to share with you all this morning as we begin our worship time together. I'm reading When I Am Among the Trees by Mary Oliver. And it may be a familiar poem to many of you. I know several new gardeners have told me how much they love the work of Mary Oliver and this poem in particular. When I Am Among the Trees by Mary Oliver. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the birch, the oaks and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and they call out, "Stay a while." And the light flows from their branches. And they call again. "It's simple," they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy and to be filled with light and to shine. One of the most beautiful parts of my work as a pastoral minister is getting to talk to people about their spiritual experiences. It is so powerful to hear the stories of how people experience the Spirit moving in their lives and how they have felt changed by love, or how they have felt inspired to grow or to be brave in new ways. Each person's experience is so unique. But often when I am talking to new gardeners, they will tell me about experiences of the divine that happened to them. And often these experiences take place in a natural setting. I've heard stories of hiking up mountains, of camping beside lakes, sitting under trees at a park, looking at the stars at night while sitting around a fire, sitting beside the ocean with feet in the sand, bird watching, gardening or tending houseplants, walking with friends or family, sitting by the lake at Guilford College, watching the play of light through the leaves of the trees here at New Garden Friends Meeting. These experiences and so many more are often the backdrops to moments when people feel deeply whole, when people have an experience of being deeply centered in that living presence. Many of us live lives that are very sharply separate from the natural world. We live in and work in human-made structures. We drive in our cars to get from one indoor space to another. We spend much of our days, every day, working on computers and connecting with people through phones. We buy our food from grocery stores that are devoid of most reminders of the plants or the animals that provided that food. And in many ways, there is nothing wrong with this. Humans are incredible creatures, and we create and we innovate. We build spectacular and beautiful things that are life-saving and life-giving. But I think our souls also know a truth that sometimes is not obvious to our brains. Our souls know that we are animals, that we are wild things. We are as much part of the natural world as the birds winging their way through the air and the trees with their roots in the ground. We are as much part of the natural world as the stones that are covered with brilliant moss on the mountainside, or the sandpipers that rush through the foam of the surf at the beach. The knowledge of this beats in our hearts. It pumps through our veins the knowing that our true home is with the stars and with the red clay of the earth. It is this, how our center remembers that we are part of creation. That is the reason that so often our spiritual experiences come to us when we are connected to the natural world. What is so incredible and interesting about this is that this is often true even for people like me, people who are not outdoorsy. I think that most of you know that I am not a camper. I do not enjoy hiking because when I go out on a hike, there's always bugs. And sometimes there's snakes. And there's all kinds of other creatures out in nature. I don't know anything about gardening, and I only managed to keep the plants that I have here in my office at New Garden Friends Meeting alive because they are mostly succulents and cacti, and I have them on a watering schedule. And when I am not watering them, I just try to ignore them. It may seem like superstition, but I swear I have killed houseplants before by just paying too much attention to them. I recently did go on a camping trip with my family. We took a pop-up camper so I didn't have to sleep on the ground, and so I could have my hair dryer with me. And we went with our dearest family friends. We went to this incredible place, this nature preserve that is also an animal rescue. And it was such a wonderful trip in so many ways. I loved spending time with our dear friends and with my children. And all of the children had so much fun interacting with all of the animals that were part of the animal rescue. But I will admit that I did not have so much fun interacting with all of the animals. On the first day of the camping trip, I sent a text message to my mother. The message said this: "I think I see death coming for me, and it looks like a llama." Barring experiences with llamas, I still had this incredible experience of connecting with the divine as part of this trip, an experience that I would not have had from my couch at home. I went on a hike, rather grudgingly, as part of the camping trip. It was an easy hike, although it included some steep terrain, but it took us way out into the more remote region of the park where we were staying. After following the trail for a ways, we came to this wide stream in the woods. Sitting by the side of the water on the grass or the flat rocks that were on the side of the stream, you could see the wildflowers that were growing on the opposite bank. You could see the sparkle of the sun on the water and how it shimmered on the leaves of the forest all around us. It was so incredibly still and quiet in that place. The only sound was running water and the rustle of birds and other animals. It was a magical, mystical place. It was holy in both its ordinary beauty and also its many tiny wonders. In that place, I could feel my heart unfurl. In the quiet of that place, you could feel your breath, and you could feel your wholeness and your integrity. I felt as if I was part of that glowing fabric of light that is all over our planet, that is throughout our universe. I think it often takes getting away on trips or excursions for us to make space in our lives for these kinds of moments of connection. But it doesn't have to involve anything that requires significant planning. I know that having access to green places is a privilege. But fortunately, for those of us who are here in Greensboro, we have access to lovely green places. Public parks and trails are all over our city. And even if it is not possible for us to get out for a weekly walk at the park or to eat our lunch outside in a green space, it often is possible for us to sit for a few minutes outdoors on a sunny day. We can often bring nature inside by having houseplants. We can watch the birds through the windows or from outside. And all of you are always welcome to come here to New Garden Friends Meeting, to our little patch of quiet peace here on New Garden Road, and to walk in the cemetery or the woods by the meeting house, or to sit on one of the many benches that are throughout our property and enjoy the flowers and the trees. My encouragement to you is the next time it is raining, if it is safe to do so and not a terrible storm, you could spend a few moments outside in the rain and feel the rain against your skin. My encouragement to you is to touch some dirt if you can, or run your hand over the bark of a tree, or touch the softness of a leaf. If you can, take time this week, as much as time as possible, to connect in some big way or some small way with the natural world that is all around us. And to remember that truth, that you too are a wild thing. I hope when you are in nature next that you are able to breathe deep and to listen to that still small voice. May you feel that connection to the divine that is alive throughout creation and all around us. May the glorious beauty of the flowers and the water and the animals bring to your heart a deeper knowledge of God's glorious nature. And may for just a moment, may your eyes open, and may you be able to see some of the small miracles of our world. And in that moment, may you remember that place within your own wild heart where you are connected to your own glorious nature.